They met online, they became friends, they fell in love. But then,
I've never spoken to her in my life.
it all started in 2009 when 29-year-old Kirat Assi, a radio host at a Punjabi station in London, received a Facebook request from Bobby Jandu. Kirat accepted his request since they both belonged from West London Sikh community and had friends in common, including her cousin Simran. So Simran and Bobby's family knew each other and they both lived in Kenya. Simran was also the ex-girlfriend of Bobby's brother JJ. In 2011, Kirat and Bobby began chatting online. She briefly met him at a party in Brighton, England that same year, although they weren't able to talk. In the following years, Kirat said she broke up with a long-time boyfriend while Bobby divorced his wife Sanj.
Over the next 4 years, we've sent thousands of messages.
One day, Bobby told her that he was in a witness protection program after being shot in Kenya and was stuck in a New York hospital with several life-threatening illnesses, she said. During this time, she also connected online with Bobby's other cousins who would update her on his condition.
Eventually, he tells me he loves me.
From watching sports together to planning their wedding and future children, they talked about it all, but only online through chats. Whenever Kirat attempted to meet Bobby in person, he always had an excuse, whether it was a stroke or his mental health. She said he couldn't speak on calls because he lost his voice due to health issues. But she sent him voice messages and he used to reply via text.
We just fall asleep with the line open.
During voice calls, Bobby didn't speak, claiming that he wasn't allowed to video call while in witness protection. Instead, he communicated by making various noises or by whispering.
If I wasn't on the other end of the phone line, it upset him.
Then one day, Bobby discovered that he was having a baby with his ex-wife Sanj, Kirat said. Kirat was concerned and at the time, her cousin Simran became her confidant. Over the next few years, Kirat began sending him selfies every morning and sharing everything, even details like going to the bathroom while they were on calls. Kirat became stressed as her work and social life were affected. When she tried to distance herself, Bobby's cousins would text her about him having heart attacks or panic attacks.
We're talking about 10 years of my life.
Until one day, Kirat got angry when Bobby made another excuse for not being able to meet her. She gave him an ultimatum, to which he responded that he was flying to the UK to meet her. Even though Bobby told Kirat that he was in the country, he avoided meeting her. This time, Kirat grew suspicious and hired a private investigator to find Bobby's address. And then she went to Brighton to meet him. From here onwards, Kirat's life took a drastic turn. When Kirat knocked on his door, Bobby opened the door with Sanj standing just behind him. Bobby refused to recognize her. Kirat became anxious and agitated as she thought Bobby was lying to her. Kirat then called her cousin Simran as Bobby knew her. Simran then asked Kirat to leave the scene. Bobby, on the other hand, reported this incident to the police.
All of this time, who have I been sleeping on the phone with?
When Kirat thought about going to the police, Simran stopped her. Simran then rushed to Kirat's house and told her, "I am Bobby." Kirat was confused and asked her about Bobby's cousins she had spoken to which Simran replied, "I was all of them." Kiran said that Simran had created 60 fake profiles of people connected to the real Bobby. And she had been active, posting pictures and videos on each of them. Kirat was devastated, stating that her life was ruined because of this. She eventually began collecting evidence against Simran, including all the messages and images. But Simran was deleting all the fake accounts she created.
Files disappear. I'm terrified.
So in 2020, Kiran took civil action against Simran, and the following year, Simran paid her compensation along with the private apology.